Hello and welcome to this video all about how we can get our students to listen effectively using the Hurier model. And this skill of listening effectively falls under the ATL skill organizer of collaboration and the ATL skill indicator, which is what is it we want our students to be able to develop, is for them to listen actively to other perspectives and ideas. So, what is the model? The model is called the Hurier model. That's H for hearing, U for understanding, R for remembering, I for interpreting, E for evaluating, and R for responding. So what I'm going to do now is just to basically go through the model and give some samples of what it could look like in your lessons. So hearing is basically for the students to pay careful attention to what is being said, either by you as the teacher, a video they're watching, or a presentation or a discussion from their peers. Understanding, that is comprehending the message being delivered, again, either by you, the video, or their peers. Remembering, being able to recall the message being delivered. Interpreting, paying attention to the verbal and non-verbal behaviors and assigning meaning or value to it. Evaluating, determining the accuracy or the truth of the statements being made and taking into account any prior knowledge. Responding, replying to the person delivering the message, letting them know that the student is listening effectively. So that's it. Hurier. Hearing, understanding, remembering, interpreting, evaluating, and responding. Now I'm going to move on to what it could look like in your lessons. So as part of hearing, what could we see? Well, we'd hope for the students to be making eye contact with the speaker. If you're the teacher or it's a peer that is presenting and you're moving around the classroom, we'd expect to see the students being able to track you and to follow your movements, either just with their eyes or with their heads if you're moving around the classroom. We'd expect to see them making some notes on the key points based on what is being shared with them. As part of understanding and then being able to comprehend the message being delivered, then they need to be able to ascertain, what are the key points or the main points of the information that is being delivered. Are we discussing a concept with them? Are we discussing keywords and terminology with them? Are we discussing the instructions for a group task, a pair work, or an individual assignment, or are we giving them assessment instructions? As part of the remembering, for them to be able to recall the message being delivered, what do we as the teacher want the students to be able to do with the information that we're giving them? Do we want them to recall, to expand on the information, to give their own opinion? Are we looking for them to ask meaningful questions? Are we looking for feedback? In order for them to do that, they need to be able to remember and to retain the message that is being delivered. And we may see this more prevalent after a period and sequence of lessons when we're asking the students to review the work or some revision sections of the lesson which you may have. In terms of interpreting, paying attention to the verbal and non-verbal behaviors and assigning meaning or value to it, students need to think of, why is this information being shared with them? What value does it have? And how will it help their understanding? And also for them to be able to gauge, particularly when they're working in groups, the body language and the verbal and non-verbal behaviors of their peers. If they're able to understand, then this reduces conflict or misunderstanding when they're doing the group work. As part of evaluating, students need to be able to reflect and consider how true is the information that is being shared with them. Is there any evidence to rebut what they have been told? And also what prior knowledge from other lessons, other subjects, do they have to help support their evaluation process of the information which is being shared? And responding. Before the students actually respond, they need to know how they should be responding at the beginning so that when they're doing and working through the process, they know exactly how to structure their thoughts and their work. So are we looking for the students to agree or to disagree with the information? Do they need to support the idea or the information? Do they need to analyze the information? Are we looking for them to give an opinion or advice? using the facts to support their own answer. So those are some of the guiding points which we as teachers can use in our lessons to help structure and use explicitly the Hurier model. Now, the Hurier model does not have to be used in one whole lesson, because the task that you have designed may require students to go away and to evaluate at home and to come back with that answer. So therefore, there's no need to always feel as though you have to complete the whole Hurier model in one lesson. It may start at a certain point at the start of the week, and it may take the whole week for you to come to the ending point of Hurier, which is perfectly fine. So a way that we can use this in our lessons is that at the beginning of the instruction that we're giving the students, basically go through the process as you need it. So tell the students, okay, I need you to pay careful attention to what is being said at this point in time. This is what I would like you to be able to understand, and this is what I would like you to be able to remember. So it could be you're sharing with them the concept for your unit or key terminology. So then you're actually structuring the student's thought process even before you've begun sharing that information with them. And therefore, they're more in tune to what we as teachers need them to be able to do in the lesson. And then you can go further and tell them that, now we need them to interpret, we would like you to evaluate this information, and then once you've done that process in your groups or individually, then we would like you to respond, and your response should be in this format. So what we're doing is we're structuring and scaffolding the students to be able to listen effectively, and as part of listening, we know that it's talking about being able to listen and also to communicate their understanding.